Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to our team Zoom. My name is Harlequin Murray. I'm your co-host this evening, and Ellen Winn is our host, as she always is. But I get the extreme honor and privilege of welcoming everybody. And if you are new here tonight, welcome to the team. We appreciate you being here and excited to get to know you. But for those of you who are new, especially, I'm going to tell you a little bit of information about Ellen and kind of give you a little bit of her background. She grew up on a farm in just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I think David was talking about that earlier today on the corporate leadership Zoom. But anyway, she has a strong background in the restaurant industry. She worked for Domino's Pizza and was a trainer for them and was a district director. She also has owned her own pizza restaurant. She owned a couple of locations. And she's got a lot of experience with that. She also has worked in the network marketing industry for over 20 years now, I believe it is. And when I met her, about 18 years ago, she was the national training director for a network marketing company. So she's got a lot of experience both in traditional business as well as network marketing. And she still owns a business today. But anyway, she is our team leader. Pretty much everybody on this Zoom, unless you were invited from an outside source and you know who you are, pretty much everybody else, if you got a welcome email from Ellen when you joined, you're on her team. And a lot of you are also on my team because Ellen is my personal sponsor. But anyway, she has been with DAC for 5 years now and is an area director in our DAC comp plan. She's the first agent out in the field to achieve that level. So she knows what she's doing. But anyways, without further ado, Ellen, can you go ahead and take it away?
I can. Thank you, Harlequin. I always appreciate your warm introduction. And to all of you that are here tonight, thank you. Glad that you can join us. And we're excited about what's going on with DAC. If this is your first Zoom, again, as Harlequin said, welcome. We're glad to have you here. We've got a lot of great things going on in the company, in the team, and this is a perfect time to be either getting involved, engaged, or re-engaged in the DAC business opportunity. So if you missed today's leadership Zoom, I'm going to be sending that out via email a little bit later. After we finish our Zoom, I will send a recording of this out via email as well as today's leadership Zoom. So tonight I'm going to carry what David said and touch on some of those and take it down a different path that I thought about this afternoon as I was really studying in my heart what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So the topic of the night is be here to win. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you can win in DAC. So let me get us kicked off as I normally do, which is through team recognition and pulling up a slideshow. So let me get my screen share started. And looks good on the screen there, Harlequin. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. So DAC, fueling the American dream, whether it's the small business owner that needs our funding or other services that can help them save money, or whether it's fueling the dream for folks like you and I. They're looking for an entrepreneurial opportunity where you can get started for free, you can recruit others for free, and you can earn a significant income here. Our compensation plan is performance-based, and there's a huge incentive for you to attract other agency entrepreneurs, individuals, who want to get started with the DAC business model. So let's talk about our team growth, because the folks I'm going to recognize in a minute are the ones that are really getting it and understand the leverage and power of our compensation plan. So real quick, team growth numbers for the week of 7/17 through 7/23, which was last week. We had 29 of you on the team had at least one new agent recruit. Those numbers are up a little bit from last week, but the number that's up big time is the number of new agents because of the recruiting numbers per agent. So we had a total of 49 new agents join the team. That is on an upward trend, and these numbers need to be doubling and need to be tripling. And I'm going to cover some details with you tonight to hopefully get you in that mindset of saying, yeah, I really need to latch onto this and start building a team and following the system, because it's really simple if you just plug and play and run with us. Okay, so let's recognize our top recruiters for the week. And in first place, we had Nick Cranstown. Nick had 7 new agents join the team. Congratulations, Nick. I came in second place with 5 new recruits for the week. In third place, we had a 3, 6, 7, 8-way tie, each with 2 new agents apiece. We had Terrence Gibson, Silena Willis, Ronnie McKellar, Lavonda Goodman, Jessica Smith, James Jeffries, Derek Williams, and Contreras Cody. So to get your name on the leaderboard, you have to have at least 2 agent recruits. As I said, we had quite a few who had at least 1, but to get on the leaderboard, you had to have 2. So if you're not on the leaderboard this week and you had a new agent recruit, all you had to do is get 1 more and you'd be recognized by name. Congratulations to those of you who had 1. If your name's not on the leaderboard, but you're having conversations about our opportunity, about our program, our services, or funding, you're just talking positive stuff about DAC and getting the word out, then it's just a matter of time before your name will also be on the leaderboard and before you start getting clients and commission checks. So don't stop what you're doing. Just tweak what you're doing. If you're doing something and you keep doing the same thing and you're not getting the results that you need, then you need to tweak what you're doing. Maybe get with an upline team leader, someone that is having success, and discuss the methods that you're using and see what needs to be tweaked to get you on the right path. Okay. The next thing I want to do on recognition is cover some bonus plan rank advancements. Bonus plan. What is the bonus plan? Well, the bonus plan is what gets paid on clients that have pay an upfront commission, or the services that do. Here in the light blue print at the bottom, that would be funding, lines of credit, ERC, and other services that have an upfront bonus payout, right? A one-time upfront bonus and then residual. We have a lot of services that are coming on that are not going to have an upfront bonus, but they're going to have a nice residual that pays every single month. But these first 3 ranks that we're recognizing tonight are achieved through personal production, with these agents personally going out and getting new clients, new bonus clients on their own. No team is needed whatsoever. And as you move through DAC 1, DAC 2, and DAC 4, what we call leveling up or ranking up, that positions you to earn bonus override, matching income on your team. If there's someone beneath you that is not at the same or higher level than you are, then you earn a matching commission. To reference this, if you want to make a note, pages 5 and 13 of the compensation chart out of the Agent Resource Center. Those 2 pages specifically cover the bonus income, which the first page of it I'm going to cover in just a second on the recognition. And then page 13 covers which one of our services pay that upfront bonus, what is the volume on it, what's the residual on it, how often does it get paid, and so on. So everything you need to know on which of the services is on page 13. Okay. All right. So tonight I want to congratulate Antonio Angeles. Antonio hit DAC 2 by helping a client get an ERC back. And I'm sorry, I did not write those numbers down, but it was a significant amount back to the client. Antonio received a commission check with a big comma in it, and that promoted him to DAC 2. What does that mean? To get to DAC 2, you have to have at least 2 new bonus qualifying clients. A bonus qualifying client is a bonus service that we just covered that is of 600 bonus revenue or higher. Okay, that counts as a single new bonus qualifying client. You have to have at least 2 of those to get to DAC 2, and you also have to have 2,000 of residual revenue to go to that DAC 2. 2,000 residual revenue is about $20,000 in funding or ERCs and so on. But getting to DAC 2, now Antonio has positioned himself to earn a 15% match on anyone in his team that is not under another DAC 2. Okay, so for example, let's say he has someone who makes $1,000 commission off of their personal client. They're a DAC 0, so they're not, or it doesn't matter what their level is. There's nobody between that person that gets the client and Antonio. They earn $1,000 commission. Antonio would earn 15% match or $150 commission to him just for moving himself through the compensation ranks. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. I know, Harlequin, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a minute because Harlequin is a DAC 4 and Harlequin has gotten some significant overrides on her team just over the past couple of weeks. You want to talk about that rank advancement and how that has impacted your ability to earn higher commissions because you moved yourself through those ranks and got to DAC 4?
Sure. Well, DAC 1, you get a 10% override. DAC 2 is 15%, and DAC 4 is a 30% override. So, you know, I've had several people get some fairly large fundings lately, and I got, you know, some of them, there were people in between that were at DAC 1 or DAC 2. So for example, if somebody, just to pick easy numbers, let's say somebody on my team had $1,000 commission and there was between myself and that person, there was somebody at the DAC 1 level, that DAC 1 person would get $100 match.
10%.
Yeah, 10% of the 1,000. And if there was nobody else in between us that was at a rank higher than that, then I would have gotten the difference between the 30% and the 10%. So I would have gotten a $200 bonus. And yeah, so it can add up tremendously.
It adds up big time. I see those commissions. I can calculate what you're getting just by looking at the fundings in your team. And I'm like, go girl, you go. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and get this now with Antonio on the screen here. If Antonio had a personally enrolled agent get a funding, and let's do $1,000 again commission to that personally enrolled agent instead of down in the team. Antonio being engaged, actually he's amped up right now with this new funding. So if it were personally enrolled agent that got a funding in the next 30 days while Antonio is amped, he would get a 50% match on the income of the personally enrolled agent, in addition to the 15% match. So look at this numbers. If $1,000 commission to one of his personally enrolled agents, Antonio's amped up, gets a 50% match. That means he makes $500 on his enroller bonus alone, plus another 15%, that $150 on top of that. So Antonio being engaged and having a frontline agent making $1,000, Antonio would actually get a $650 match. That's killer. Sorry, I thought I muted my phone.
Yeah.
If he weren't
Relevate, well, Ellen,
yes,
Relevate overrides just hit the giggle overrides just hit our
okay,
account.
good,
So
good. You can go count that money. I'm doing a Zoom. I don't want to get distracted. It may take me a really long time if I went to look at my commissions, because I know we've got a long list of people that got giggle commissions. Giggle is our funding product that is the up to 10K in less than 10 minutes program. And those numbers have gone up significantly, but because it's an automated platform, those commissions get paid once a month. So we're getting paid today on fundings that took place during the month of June. So thanks for that heads up, Carl.
well, I can tell you, I just got 25 override commissions.
Nice. Congratulations.
So,
So
yeah.
back to Antonio and getting I know you're excited. Back to
Yep.
Antonio getting paid as amped up or engaged. If his frontline agent got a funding and got paid $1,000 in the next 60 days beyond the 30-day amped up status that Antonio would have, then Antonio would make a 25% match, right? $250, and still add that 15% on. So another 150, so $400. So total 40% match in that scenario. So guys, this is why you want to be moving through the compensation plan. And the only way you rank up in the bonus plan is to go get personal clients. So I encourage you to do whatever it takes to go get those clients, because as I said, you can get some really big commissions. How many of you out there would love to get a $600 override on something that somebody else did, right? Yeah, I see hands raised, and if I can't see you, I know you got your hands raised and you're going, yes, that would be me. So I want to go through the team building aspect of this as well and helping you win there. So before I get into that, I want to remind you the different commissions, and some of them we just touched on with a real life scenario, but you can build an agency, make a lot of money on personal clients so that you're moving through the ranks on DAC 1 through 4. And then you can also earn more if you want to build a team. And I liken it to this. If you're out here and you're just building your own client base with DAC, you're really kind of having, you're like most small business owners that are out there having to generate new clients to get paid again, or have those same clients come back again and again and repurchase. So you're doing the work mostly yourself if you're only going at this alone. But if you're building a team, then you've got the ability to leverage your income, like we just gave the examples of Antonio there and Harlequin's examples, where you can earn a significant override just by plugging into the system. And again, I'm going to make that real simple for you here in a minute, but I want to remind everybody on why you should be recruiting right now. This is Independence Month with DAC. What does that mean? If you've been with our company more than 90 days, David clarified this today on my question. If you're new in the company in your first 90 days, you're automatically going to get at least a 10% matching bonus on your personally enrolled agents. But because we're in Independence Month with this promotion, you'll get paid at least 25%, even if you're in your first 90 days there. If you hadn't had a client in the past 60 days, at least a 25% match. What's the 60-day deal there? Well, remember I covered amped up. That's a rolling 30-day qualification that qualifies you for higher commissions on your personal clients, plus higher commissions on your personally enrolled agents, except amped up doesn't apply to ERCs on those, on either bonuses. You just don't get paid the bigger commissions on ERCs because those commissions are already so big at the 4%, and then your income match on what your team does. Okay, but 60 days is that rolling window where you're engaged. And engaged just means that you're eligible to earn on what your team does. So let me say this, I keep getting this question over and over again, and somewhere in the compensation plan, this is getting overlooked, but somebody asked me the other day, and I get this question at least once a week. If I'm not engaged or if I'm not amped up, do I get paid if I go get clients? Yes, a resounding yes. You always, always, always get paid on your own clients. So no matter how long you've been with us, whatever your rank is or any of that, it doesn't matter. You're going to get paid on your own clients. The engaged status, amped up status, all of that applies to earning on your team, except amped up, of course, you can earn the higher commissions on personal fundings. Okay, so just know that. But this Independence Month is going through the end of July. So you got to have fundings that get submitted and get funded by July 31st for this promotion to apply. Okay, so that's a great incentive for you guys to be recruiting. That gives you the ability to earn enroller bonuses where you can earn up to 50% income match on personal bonuses that you help your new agents earn if you're amped. Leadership bonuses where you can also earn up to 50% match on your open line extended agency network, right? That's huge, especially when you have a team of hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and potentially hundreds of thousands of agents in your sales organization. And then we also have the permanent coded groups. When you hit area director and above, that means you've got a coded group that no matter what level people in your team hit, they will never hit a level where you don't continue earning those leadership override bonuses. And that number is massive. So you definitely want to be shooting towards those higher ranks and getting yourself to area director. And then we have our residual income plan, where you're going to get paid on 7 compressed levels up to a 30% match on your agency. And then we also have the bump up bonus, where you can earn up to 25% extra if you hit at least 1,000 or more in personal residual revenue clients. So you got to get clients. If you're going to make money in this compensation plan, you got to have personal clients, and you got to pay attention to the qualifications if you're going to be building a team so that you can maximize that income. So talking about building a team, where I say it builds a long-term residual income. So if you're building a team, you get to a point where you get promoted to area director, as long as you stay qualified and your team production is there. You don't have to go get more clients again, right? And that's the beauty of building a team. That means you can hit those higher levels and still be making money off of what your organization did that you helped get started, and you can get paid a lifetime of income off of that. In this particular example, I'm showing $574,000 paid out to the team, right? The income match that you could earn is 10 to 15%, or 57.4 up to $287,000, just off of what your team does. What's their incentive? Well, they're making a lot of money getting clients, because they're getting the lion's share of the commission on personal commissions, right? And then there are all these incentives to get paid on team building and all of that. Now, you could earn 0 if you're not getting your own customers and getting yourself qualified, but that's just one of the examples of the income that you could earn here at DAC. So as I opened up, tonight's theme is be here to win, okay? Your goal should be to reach the top ranks in our company. If you're not moving through the ranks, you're just a spectator sitting back and watching what's going on, right? There used to be or there still is a saying of, you're either on the field and playing and making it happen, or you're sitting in the stands and watching it and going, oh my God, what just happened? Because you missed the opportunity because you weren't on the field playing the game full speed ahead. Okay. So talking about getting to area director as an initial goal, right? One of the tools that we have is the game plan. David touched on this today, and I want to give you a visual where to find it, how it works, and why you need to be completing it. Okay. So when you log into your agent back office, in that dashboard on the left-hand side, you want to click on team. And when you click on team, the first item in that drop-down list is create a personal game plan. Okay. When you click on that, it's going to open up a screen with a 12-minute video from our company founder, David Rutz. No better person to tell you about the game plan, what the importance of it is, and talk about setting your goals, right? And being able to share your goals with your enroller. What happens when you complete this game plan, it automatically emails your upline enroller, the person you signed up through. It emails them and lets them know that you've completed the game plan document. Okay. So you want to watch the video, about 12 minutes long, take notes. He's got some great information as he takes you through the game plan and why to do it, right? And then at the end of the video, you'll get a little pop-up box that says create a game plan. So you got to watch the video to get to the screen that has the game plan document. But when you click on create a game plan, it's going to start in this online digital game plan document. So you're just going to go in and answer the questions. Once you click answer all the questions and click submit, as I said, you're going to get a copy of it, and your enroller will also get notified of your game plan being completed, and they'll get notified of what your goals are. So that way you guys can work together, or gals can work together and create a communication method where you guys can connect and get the help that you need. Now, let me say this. If you are not enrolling agents because you're afraid that they're going to ask you for help, I got your back. I got your back on this. We've got systems in place as a company, but I have systems in place as your senior team leader that communicates with every single person that comes into your team. So if you're at a point where you're scared to help that new person yet, all you got to do is let me know. If you're on my team directly, or if you're in Harlequin's team, we'll make that connection and Harlequin can help you, or whoever else on here that is leading a team. We'll connect the dots and get you as a new person connected to that team leader. So if you've got somebody that you need to do a client call with or whatever, we'll be happy to do it for you. You just got to raise your hand and say, hey, my new agent has a client that needs some help talking on the phone. Can you help? Sure, we can do it. We'll do a three-way call with you as the supporting agent on the line and the new agent on the line, and get them to connect the customer. So that way we're working with you as the agent. We've got two agents in a training call here. Essentially, that's what it is. Anytime you get to listen in on a live call with a client, that is a training call for you. Just like these Zooms, every Monday we do a training Zoom, right? This is an opportunity for you to learn my perspective, from my experience and Harlequin's, etc. In addition to what David teaches, but we're always on the same path as what David teaches, right? We're just taking it to a different level and also giving you an opportunity to ask more questions here. So it's always a training opportunity. All right. So the next thing I want to cover on getting through the ranks and getting that game plan done. David talked about today that every company he's worked, and he's made millions in the network marketing model, and his testimonial today was every top earner that he ever worked with in any of the companies he's been part of, every top earner did a game plan and completed that game plan to determine what their goals were, what the activity was that was necessary to hit the goals. And then they picked projects in their team. What is a project? A project is someone in your team. It might be someone you personally enroll. It might be someone that they enrolled and they enrolled and they enrolled and they enrolled and enrolled, all the way down 10 levels deep in your organization. But somebody pops up and says, hey, this DAC business is pretty cool. I'm ready to run with it. And they put their action where their mouth is, and they're a doer rather than just being a talker, right? So David touched on that today, and we need a team full of doers. We need a team of people that are on the field playing and not just sitting in the stands watching to see what happens next, right? So to get you on that thought process, I want to share a quick video with you that instantly came to mind to me. This segment did, as I was listening to David on the leadership call. This video popped into my mind. I searched on YouTube and I found it, and I listened to a couple of different versions of it, but this one just kind of nails it on the head. Okay, so I want you to sit back, make sure your speakers are up so that you can hear. I'll make sure they're up on my end, but I want to play a video by motivational speaker and success coach Les Brown. Les Brown is going to tell you his story, and the segment that automatically came to mind for me is him being prepared and being here to win. And when you listen to Les's story, you'll understand real quickly what being here to win is all about. So enjoy.
Terra is the IT painkiller. Remote monitoring and management, remote access, help desk and ticketing.
Was identified as mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade, and stayed in that category until I got out of high school. I don't have any college training, but I met a high school teacher who one day changed my life. I was waiting on another student, and when he came in, he said to me, young man, go to the board and write what I'm about to tell you. And I said, I can't do that, sir. And he said, why not? I said, I'm not one of your students. He said, it doesn't matter. Follow my directions now. I said, I can't do that, sir. He said, why not? I said, because I'm educable mentally retarded. And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me. He said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And as he talked, my heart began to beat fast. Tears began to run by my eyes, and I was in the back just listening to him, because the speech he was giving, that speech was for me. And he said, Les Brown, he said, if you want to do anything worthwhile in life, you've got to be hungry. I told Mr. Washington I wanted to become a disc jockey. And so I started working to develop myself. He said, I want you to practice every day being a disc jockey. I said, but I don't have any job now. He said, it doesn't matter. He said that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And as I was working to develop myself, I applied for a job as a disc jockey, WMBM on Miami Beach. I went to a guy named Milton Butterball. I said, how you doing, Mr. Butterball? I'd like to get a job as a disc jockey. He looked at me, he said, do you have any broadcast background? I said, no, sir, I don't. Do you have any journalism background? I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, we don't have any jobs available. I said, yes, sir. I went back to Mr. Washington and I told him, he said, don't take it personally. He said, most people are so negative, they will have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, go back again. So I went back again. I said, how you doing, Mr. Butterball? My name is Les Brown. He said, I know what your name is. What do you want? I said, I'd like to know whether or not you have any jobs at disc jockey, sir. He said, didn't I just tell you yesterday we didn't have any jobs? I said, yes, sir, but I know whether or not somebody got laid off or somebody was fired, sir. He said, no one was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day like I was seeing you for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. And I went to get him some coffee. After a while, I would get their lunch and dinner, and I would go in the control rooms and take the disc jockeys their food, and I would not leave until they would ask me to leave. One Saturday afternoon, while I was at the radio station, a guy named Rock was drinking while he was on the air. I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room windows, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. Pretty soon the phone rang and it was the general manager. And I answered the phone. I said, hello. He said, Les, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must be think I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all turn up the radio and come out on the front porch. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes. And I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, do you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and don't say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get behind those controls. I put on an old Stevie Wonder record called Fingertips. I sat down behind that turntable. I said, look out, this is me, LB Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single, love to mingle, certified, bona fide, and duly qualified to bring you satisfaction, a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. You got to be hungry. Begin to know that you have greatness within you. And if just one of you here begin to envision yourselves as being blessed and highly favored to reach your goals, if just one of you capture the essence of what that means, that you have greatness within you and a responsibility to manifest that greatness, that you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen, coming to speak to people. And I was facing financial difficulties in my own life. I was behind on my bills and my dreams, and I'm saying to them, you can live your dream. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen. It was very difficult to pick myself up each day believing that I could do it. There were times that I doubted myself. I used to ask myself, can I do this? And something said within me, you're the one. Don't give up on your dream. by continuing to push forward, by continuing to run toward my dream. And one day, I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor. Never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream. Don't stop. Don't stop running toward your dream.
That's what I'm talking. Don't stop running towards your dream. Harlequin, had you seen that clip before with Les Brown in the radio story?
Yeah, I had.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
As I said, that came to mind today because I remember the first time I heard him tell that story. I was rolling down the highway listening to audios in my car. I use my car as a rolling university all the time. If I'm driving, I'm making good use of that time on the road. And I remember hearing that, and man, it just gave me chills, and it gave me chills again tonight listening to that. And I hope that that resonated with several of you on this Zoom tonight. And I hope you take that to heart, and that you're getting yourself ready, and that you're hungry for the success. So that takes me into the next segment of what I wanted to cover with you tonight. And that is a story that David has shared about when he had the free network. But I also experienced this when I was part of a telecommunications company, the company I was with when I met Harlequin, where I was a national training director running a training center here in Atlanta. And we marketed a consumer product. Okay, so let me talk real quick on what is coming here with DAC. I know a lot of people are intimidated by trying to talk to a business owner because they're not experienced in the B2B space. They haven't been trained on the B2B space, and they're just uncomfortable having conversations with business owners. Well, on August the 1st, we're due to have our new healthcare product, and somewhere mid-August, we're going to have our RX prescription drug membership, where members will be able to pay $0 for their prescription drugs. And this is going to cover about 97% of the prescription drugs available in the US today. Okay, so that plan is going to be available for individuals and for families. And I think it's just going to be a home run for a savings plan for families. Okay, they'll be able to have this prescription plan and have $0 copay with drugs that they're currently paying for today, if they're, if they have a lot of prescriptions they're paying for. But those two products alone, two services alone, are consumer programs, where that's going to bring people that are a part of our business already, and other people that may have looked at DAC and they're going, yeah, I'm not into business to business stuff, but it's going to bring people back in the fold. But back to the story of what David talks about and my experience with telecommunications, where we marketed a consumer-based program. What it meant was agents were going out and they were excited to talk about the long distance program that David marketed. And with me, we had a voice over IP product that was able to take a customer on a Bell South bill here in the South, Bell South, where I was paying $100 a month for my phone service. And I was introduced to voice over IP, brought my phone bill down to $25. That was a super easy conversation to share with people about, hey, do you know how much your phone bill is? Are you interested in saving some big money? I can get your phone bill down to $25 a month, right? And people were like, really? How does that work? They signed up as customers, and that's going to be happening with our prescription plan. But back to the consumer aspect of it. David shared the numbers, and I forget what they were, but I remember he's covered it a couple of times, where when they were marketing long distance, just the sheer nature of it, the reps would say, hey, can we market this to business owners? And they're like, sure. The company providing that service offered business services. In fact, they had individual agencies back then, it was called CLEX, offices where they could market, and that's what they were marketing, was business to business services. But because they had this massive independent agent network that were excited about marketing consumer products, it naturally brought on a lot of business to business service. I saw the same thing with our voice over IP, people sitting in the room listening to the business presentation. They start getting all these light bulbs going off in their head, and they're going, wait a minute, can we take this to a business? And we're like, oh yeah, you could. So we were marketing it to consumers, but it naturally evolved into the business to business community. So here's what's going to happen with DAC. And here's why you need to be building a team and really plugging in and making your mind up that you're here to win and that you're here to take your business to the next level. Because as we start bringing on these consumer products, we're going to have a massive influx of agents getting started with us. And those agents getting started may be excited because they see the prescription plan and they're going, oh, I know 50 people that need this, or I know 100 people that need this. They get excited and they come on board for whatever product or service catches their attention in the business opportunity. And they may be excited and start marketing that. And then they're telling their friends about it. But somewhere along the line, you're going to have a lot of people that may get started because of the healthcare or because the RX plan or Relevate or Zoom or some of these other consumer services. They're going to get started because of that, but they're going to introduce someone to your business that's going to kill it when it comes to business services. And you're naturally going to have people talking about DAC and all these different services that we market. And it's just going to evolve into a lot of fundings potentially in your organization. If you're recruiting, a lot of fundings, a lot of employee retention credits, a lot of Relevate accounts, a lot of Zoom accounts, a lot of everything. But the basis of all of it starts with you, one, getting customers of your own and starting that process. But you don't even have to have a first customer before you start recruiting. Okay. So here's where I want to top out with the recruiting and how simple this can be for you. Okay. I was having a conversation earlier in the day and going, look, I know you want to build a team and I know you don't have a lot of time, but you don't have to handhold people. David alluded to this today, talking about how many, he said he had recruited over 500 people into DAC, but he's only actually talked to a handful of them. Well, let me tell you exactly what I do. Okay. I've recruited over 900 agents into DAC. Okay. And y'all know I have systems in place. And here's exactly what I do. And I'm going to tell you how you can leverage what I do and build off of it to build a massive organization for yourself. So when you sponsor a new agent, someone signs up through your link, as long as you're paying attention to your emails, I have every email that comes from DAC support. I have it color coded and flagged so that if I've got 100 emails in my inbox, I don't miss an email from DAC. I have the commission emails highlighted in green. So when commission emails come in, I don't miss an important communication there. And I have one for the Bank Breezy submissions. Those are highlighted in gold, right? So I've got my inbox set up so that I don't miss those important communications. But when I get that email that says, congratulations, I've recruited a new agent, I do two things. One, I add them to my email, my team email list. Okay. I do that for everybody that comes into my organization. So you're on here tonight. If you're part of my team, I'm doing that on your behalf. I'm supporting the whole team by welcoming everyone with that email. As soon as I have added them to my email list and I know it's on the way, the next thing I do is I pick up my cell phone and I send them a text message, because when you get that email, you get their name, their phone number, and their email address. Okay, that congratulatory email. And when that email comes through, when the email comes through, you've immediately got hopefully their cell phone number. In most cases, it will be a cell phone. And all you need to do is send them a text message. My personal text is something like this. And I'm just going off the top of my head. I'll say, let's say it's Harlequin, right? I'll say, hello, Harlequin. If it's in the morning and I'm sending it, I'll say, good morning, Harlequin. Or if it's afternoon, I'll say, good afternoon, Harlequin, or good evening. I try to put a timestamp on it so they know it's a live message, right? And not pre-recorded or pre-written. Although it is, I've got a template that I've already got queued up in my text, and I just copy it and then I personalize it to them. But my message would be, hello, Harlequin. Welcome to our DAC family, exclamation point. I'm your enroller and sponsor, and I have systems in place to help you be successful. I just added you to my team training list of emails, so be sure you check your inbox. The subject line of the first message is welcome to our DAC family. And if you don't see it in your inbox, be sure to check your spam. By the way, this is my personal cell. If you need my help, please feel free to reach out. That's what I do to every single person that I recruit, okay? I send them that text message. I don't always hear back from people that I've sponsored. They've signed up, they found me somewhere online, they've signed up, and a lot of times I don't hear a response. But the minute that I do hear something back, it's usually not somebody picking up the phone and calling me. They usually reply back by a text, and I send them a text back and we start a chat. And then that can evolve into a phone call. Okay. So that's what I do with my personally enrolled people. How can I help you in that? Well, if you'll do the text message to your personally enrolled people, you need to make a big deal out of having a team leader that's going to communicate with you. Okay. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm patting our system on the back. And I want you to understand what a big deal it is for what I'm doing to help you grow your business. If you'll send that text message and say, hey, welcome to our DAC family. I'm your enroller, wanted to reach out and introduce myself. Be on the lookout for an email coming from our senior team leader, Miss Ellen Winn, and give credibility to me, right? They're going to get great information from DAC, as they should. DAC is an awesome company. But what I do, these extra layers of support, are additional training segments that we're missing sometimes in the communication between what DAC has out there, or where I see the same question coming over and over and over again. I created training videos so I can just send that piece out, and I send them out in those series. But if you'll edify me and the message and tell your team to be on the lookout for my messages, I'm helping you. Okay. But you got to help yourself. And then when it comes time for our corporate Zooms on Monday and Friday and our team Zooms on Monday night, you need to be encouraging your team to show up. Okay. That takes you showing up in the first place. So you got to be present. But secondly, you need to encourage your team, and don't just sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. You need to be an encourager. And I promise you, if you'll do those things along the way, when you have a team that is starting to get excited about the business and you have an opportunity to listen in on calls, you don't have to be the expert. If you're new and not comfortable with it, you don't have to be the expert. But those of us that have been here and know the answers can be that expert on the phone, helping you with your new agent with client calls. We're happy to do it. And it's a earning experience while you're learning how things work. So Harlequin, I know you were sitting there shaking your head when I was saying, you know, the things that I do for the team and for everybody in here. I know everybody in this group is already accustomed to what I'm doing, but can you kind of allude to how this is different from most companies out there and most organizations?
People, you don't even know how good you have it. Yeah, I mean, I've been in organizations where they didn't hear anything from anybody other than corporate with their initial welcome email. And, you know, we are blessed to have Ellen and have her have this system in place, because if she didn't have that system in place, then a lot of the people would be lost, because, you know, we do have some people who are not so good sponsors, and they don't send out those welcome emails, and they don't talk to their team as much. But everybody has Ellen's contact information. So if they can't get in touch with their sponsor or their upline, they can always contact Ellen. And, she sends me messages all the time. If there's somebody who, sometimes it's someone I've spoken to, but she's like, hey, can you go ahead and talk to this person that's on your team? They've reached out to me for this particular question, so that we can get that person helped. But yeah, I mean, most companies, you don't get that with your upline team leader.
Well, thank you, Harlequin. And, you've been a big part of doing these Zooms every single week and me really saying, okay, I'm ready to commit to this. So the systems I have in place are not there. If you're a leader and you want to step up and you're ready, you got a big team growing and you're ready to start doing your own trainings and your own Zooms and branching off as our system, our nationwide expansion calls for. I'm not trying to get in the way in any way, shape, or form. Harlequin just nailed it when she said, look, I send her emails. Because I do have that mass distribution on everybody that joins my organization, as long as they're reading the emails, a lot of those go in spam or they don't get opened. And every 30 days, I'm out there, I'm dumping, I'm taking them off my list. If they're not opening an email within the past 30 days, I'm removing those people from the list. So you got to help me encourage people to look for my messages and open the messages and read the messages, right? And get dialed in to what we're doing. But because of that broad distribution, people reach back out to me because I'm their face, right? If they reach out to support, they've only got an email for the most part to communicate. But somebody in my team, they've got my cell phone and my signature in every email, and they can just call me. And they've got a live person. I get that several times a week, and they're going, oh, you answered the phone. Oh, I wasn't expecting to get a live person. Yeah, we're here to help you rock this business, right? But when you get to the point to where you're ready to do your own thing, well, I want you to go there. But I also caution you not to try to do it too soon, okay? Because you have this bigger group to plug into, you should stay plugged in and edify what we're doing as a team and get this meeting to where we're over 1,000 people a week on our Monday night Zooms. And when that kind of volume is happening here, then you need to be starting your own teams and doing your own thing. But it's a lot more excitement when you've got larger groups and you can feel the energy from that rather than just 2 or 3 of you trying to do a team Zoom. Now, there's a place for that, obviously. If you're doing a strategizing session, by all means do it, but don't get started too early trying to support and trying to lead a team, which you may not be ready to be that leader yet. I know I learned a long time ago, my leadership skills that I share and talk about here today in network marketing with DAC are skills that I learned over my tenure, and I've watched a lot of leaders in this industry, but the ones that succeeded teach the same thing, and that's that core team building that David teaches. I was actually with the company that he was his free network, and it went on to become Visalis. I was there for a while after I left my telecom deal because I was looking for a home. Harlequin was there with me, and we worked one-on-one with the CEO. There were 3 owners of the company. We worked hand in hand with all of them. Went out to California, did meet and greet there, went to a red carpet event up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I know those guys by name. They know me. We worked together for a long time, but I got that experience firsthand of how to build a business. So I'm always going to tell you what you need to hear. I won't always tell you what you want to hear when you present ideas that are outside of the scope of what we teach. So just know that I'm here to help you, because if you're not succeeding, I'm not succeeding. And I don't like wasting my time, and I don't like putting forth energy and efforts to no avail. So no, we're here to help you win big time. All right. All right, let me go to questions. I see Ray with a hand up. Hey, Ray, how are you doing tonight? There you are. You're on.
Can you hear me?
I can. You sound great.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to just make a comment real quick. I'm not gonna hold too long. You was talking about your team list, and I just want to say that I really appreciate how you set that up. It has been very helpful. I like the organization of having the links to the videos. I think there was a one of the emails you sent out and you had everything lined up and I was like, oh man, this is I really like this and I really appreciate that. So that way, I mean, it's nothing wrong with going to the channel, but you don't have to fumble through everything. And if I want to go back and listen to all those, I think it was the list of the Wade Cardell's business funding, the Bank Breezy. And
Mhm.
so I just wanted to comment and say, piggyback off of Harlequin. I mean, I appreciate um, what you've done. I'm glad I'm under your team and being able to get access to that because honestly, I mean, other than my former upline who is now deceased, she will go out her way to make sure people that came under her was aware of any information about whatever. And we had known each other for 18 years and we had done other business opportunities together as well. So I just wanted to just make that comment. That's pretty much all I had for the evening.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. And that that system, for the longest time when I first started in this industry, even though I came from a management background and had all of this success in corporate America, I was sitting back and I was just taking it all in most circumstances. And if there were professionals and leaders out in the field that were working and supporting with my team, I always just edified the company presentation. I edified the leader. If I was inviting someone to a meeting or a Zoom, I'd say, oh man, you got to come hear this man speak, or you got to come hear this woman speak. She's one of the top leaders in our entire company, and she gets in and works with us every single day. You got to do that edification. If you want to start bringing people to the Zooms and getting your team to show up, you got to learn that edification process. So thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to go to Lisa. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing tonight?
Great evening, everyone. Great evening,
Great evening,
Ellen. And I have to concur with Harlequin as well as Ray that from the time you knew I was present, you have been very, very on top of it. And I appreciate all the emails and I appreciate your text message. I texted you once and I think you were on vacation. And when you got back, you responded. So there is no time when you were not there. And I've been in the industry of network marketing a little while, and I've been blessed to be on some great teams. But the ones that weren't so great, you're right. There's no one to do all of this. And then sometimes you might hear, well, I'm not doing that for my team because, and I'm like, that's kind of helpful. That helps a lot in having the weekly meetings with you here, David, in the morning. And it's not just one, it's 2, 3, sometimes 4. It's really wonderful. And I want to say, I'm ready to build this side of the business. Well, both sides, but definitely the side for the building. And we'll definitely be in touch with you to get any tips that you have for this industry. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I appreciate those kind words. And, it's just an amazing place we're in. And it always perplexes me when I have people that recruit people and they're building a team and they're going, I'm not working with them. I'm only working with my personally enrolled agents. And I hear that a lot. I've got some people on my team that are missing out on some big overrides right now because I stuck with their team and they're off doing the 15th deal that they've done since I met them when they started with DAC. But you know what? I'm glad to work with that team. And for anybody that says they're not going to work with the team and they're only going to work with their personally enrolled agents, or they're not going to handhold people or any of that, I don't believe in hand holding either. I believe in working with the people that are willing and that are stepping up and that are hungry, as Les Brown shares, right? But those that are hungry and are ready to go get it done, I will take 2 steps for every step that you take along the way. and we'll do this thing together. So those that aren't willing to help, I don't think they understand the compensation plan, because Harlequin has already attested to the DAC 4 overrides. And I can attest to even more as an area director, where I'm getting paid on my entire organization, no matter what level somebody is in my group, I'm making an override on every single thing that happens. So you just don't understand the comp plan if you're not willing to support that team that you're bringing on. So thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Let's go to James Doswell. Hey,
Yeah,
James.
actually, before you do that, I'm just going to add to that and say that for the most part, most of my income does not come from my personal efforts or my front line. It's mostly my downline below them.
Yeah,
So
that's the beauty of this
working
business.
with your depth, that's where the majority, in the long term, that's where the majority of your money is going to come from.
That's right. Because as I said earlier, as you're recruiting, you may recruit someone who recruits someone who recruits someone, and 10 generations away from you, all of a sudden a leader pops up and is ready to take it and run with it. And very, very rare that it's your personally enrolled agents that are the ones that are the really big go-getters. So thanks for that comment, Harlequin. Let's go back to James Doswell and ask you to unmute. Hey, James, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the consistency of what you said. My path is, I was recruited. Actually, I wasn't recruited. I kind of ran across it and clicked on it, and just kind of went from there. But Ellen has been the person that I've had the contact with the whole time, and everything that she's saying is true. And the consistency, the conceptual consistency that she's talking about, if you notice, it runs all the way through our company. Because everything that we have, we are referral agents, okay? And all we're doing is referring people to other things. And if you look at our website, everything's got the fear handling concept there. All we have to do is get them to the information, okay? And they can get what they need. The payment processing, just get a quote and see, and see what, get a comparison quote and see what your savings are. The same thing with our funding, okay? David's got a 40-second how it works video to help us along if we don't know what to say. Relevate, the same thing. All of that, the concept is there. And what Ellen is saying about the recruiting is the exact same thing. If you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say it, you're brand spanking new, just started this afternoon, okay? Just make the contact, let the system do the work, and then as you go through it, you'll be able to do better individually. But for now, just throw everybody else under the bus and everything works fine.
Not under the bus, James, but you're right, man. And the video for David talking about funding, that video is on your funding page, on the business capital page. Click here to learn more, right? See how it works. Same thing with ERC, that little 3 or 4 minute video that, no, that's the Relevate that has a 3 or 4 minute video about how people are living paycheck to paycheck. Does ERC have one of those too now?
No.
And I looked at, okay.
No.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, I mean, referral, you nailed it. You're referring people over to your website to see the business opportunity. One mistake that I see here is the more people know about the business, the more they want to tell somebody about the business or about the service and all of that. I don't. David went into that today, how he's not the expert. He gets them over through the site and he makes sure that they're connected. He watches his emails and then he says, hey, I see Bank Breezy team has you. I'm here if you need anything, right? And he passes it on to them. I do the exact same thing. And y'all know, 5 years, I know every service that we offer inside out for the most part. And I certainly know the the business opportunity side of it and how our compensation plan works, but I'm not the one explaining it. I explain it to you guys on my training and on our Zooms here, but I certainly don't do that when I'm talking to a prospect or when I'm talking to a prospective client on our funding. I ask the qualifying questions for funding. Hey, how much revenue are you doing each month? How long have you been in business? Are you operating through a business or personal checking account? Right? And if it's over 15, do you know what your FICO score is? Those are the 4 basic questions I ask. And it's say, well, sounds like you might qualify for our funding. We need to get you through the application process so that our professional underwriting team can review your documents and see what we might find as the best fit for you. Business opportunity. All I'm doing is asking, hey, do you keep your options open for making money outside what you're currently doing? Yes. Check. Okay, great. I've got some information I would like to send to you. Is text or email best, or Facebook Messenger or whatever, right? They tell me, and I'm going, great. I'm going to send this to you. It'll only take you about 15 minutes or so to determine if it's a fit. And by the way, it may not be a fit. We're not a fit for everybody, but you'll know real soon whether we're a good fit or not. Okay. When can you take a look at it? Boom, get a commitment and then follow up with them if they haven't already signed up as an agent. But most of the time, if you ask those questions and send them to your partner page where they watch the presentation, then they're already signing up. The time that I do talk to someone extensively about the opportunity is after they've watched the video or they've seen several videos, because a lot of people are researching DAC and they come to me ready to sign up, but they got this question or that question, or they're wanting to solidify that it's real, right? And then I take time and talk to people on that. But I'm never the one trying to pitch the opportunity unless I'm doing a live business presentation, which we're going to be doing those really soon. As soon as we get this over past August 1st with these new launches, we're going to start doing a lot of regular live biz op presentations instead of just once a month. Thank you, James. Appreciate your comments as always. Let's go to Reverend Jean-Claude. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for having your camera on.
Oh, thank you, Ellen, and thank you for all you do. It's like it's not easy. It's like you provide your time not just for the people you recruited, but for the other people, and it's very, very important because I've been suffering because the one who brought me in the business doesn't do it, and the one who brought him, I don't know. I have no one, but I have some good skills I got in the past in the network marketing, and now I just got a lot of good strategy with the AI, how to recruit people, and how to grow the business. But I need someone who knows very, very well some of the questions, so that I can be able to bring a lot of customers and also to recruit people. The most important thing here, I have 2 potential clients. One is in the car business. She has trucks, and I was telling her that I can help with our company to help her to get a line of credit because she has a lot of trucks. But according to herself, this business require you to have a lot of money before you get paid, and she does good. And I'm saying that that's something we can help, but I don't know what question to ask. And the second one, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And the second one has a store, and it's telling me that he does well with his store, and I'm thinking also that we can help him, but I don't know what other questions to bring.
Okay, so a retail store, right?
Yeah.
What type of industry are they?
They sell African food.
Okay. So a food store like grocery, or they have grocery and deli?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So our lenders love retail facilities, okay, because they've got regular daily transactions, multiple transactions a day, and daily deposits going in. And our lenders love that type of business. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'll say this based on what you just said. I'll use caution on one word that you said, that we can help you. Okay. I always use the word we might be able to, or we can probably help you. I can't make any promises, but we might be able to help you, right? So that you're under promising and over delivering. Because if you say, oh yeah, we can help you, and then they get turned down, then what you told them wasn't true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So use that. We might be able to help you, or we probably can, but don't make that over-promising statement. So the retail, as long as they're doing over 15,000 a month, then they just need to go over to your website. Just make sure that you have your agent ID number at the end of that link. Send it over to the client, have them fill out the application there. If they're over 15 a month, then they get sent to the Bank Breezy team. They're going to need to upload their last 3 months bank statements, copy of their driver's license, copy of a voided check. All those documents and the requirements are there on the quick reference guide in the Agent Resource Center. So if you don't know where that is, not just you, Jean-Claude, but anybody else, if you go to the Agent Resource Center link in your back office, when you open that up, go to the Business Funding tab. And on that, there's a PDF document. The front page of it is mostly blue. So it really kind of stands out in all the other PDFs, but it's a quick reference sheet. It's about 8 pages, and it has the minimum requirements for every service that we market, what the qualifications are. And then it also gives you a line-by-line process. So letting you know when you're going to receive an email, what the next email should say, and so on. And if you stop getting emails, that means the client stopped the process. There are really 4 emails that you're going to look for when you've got a funding client. Number 1, the first email will be, congratulations, Bank Breezy submission started. Number 2, you're going to get an email that says application signed. And number 3 is either going to be we're missing documents, or you're looking for the one that says all documents received. Okay. And then after all documents are received, if they pass the first visual check of everything, then the 4th email is going to be congratulations, your client's file is off to the lenders for offers. So those are 4 that you want to look for. But again, they're in the quick reference guide there. Okay. So that's your retail store. The first question you had was about a car dealer. Is this an auto car sales lot?
No, the car truck, the trucker.
A trucker. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So lines of credit are really out of question right now for the trucking industry. Okay. And we still do lending, but they're very, very high risk. Here's why. Most truckers are a one-man show, one man or one woman show, where they are a solo operator and they've got one truck on the road. If that truck breaks down, they're out of business. If they get sick and can't drive, they're out of business. If they get in an accident and they're injured, they're out of business. And if they're not generating income, then our lenders can't get paid back what they've borrowed, right? So trucking is very high risk. It's a volatile industry. Somebody's got to have really good revenue for us to be able to give them funding, but lines of credit aren't going to happen. Lines of credit aren't going to happen in the trucking space or in the construction industry right now. The lines of credit market has really been pulled back. We're doing more of the revenue-based lending than lines of credit right now. Not that they're not available, but it's got to be a good file to get the line of credit. And then we've done some trucking. David said, or Wade, a couple of weeks ago, we had a trucking company that got over $300,000, but it was obviously more than just a 1-unit operation. So depends on the size of that trucking company.
Yeah, they have more than 1 unit. They must have like 3 or 4.
Yeah. So when you're doing the funding, if they are in that 15,000 or more range, which sounds like they would be, then the general rule of thumb is that the client's going to qualify for between 75% on the low end to 200%. But that low end might be lower in the trucking space. So again, under promise, I always just pass it off and I'll say, look, you meet our revenue requirements. You've got a business checking account. Let's get your information over to our team and let our team go to work for you so that they can bring back the absolute best offer available in the market. And that's all I ever promise when I'm dealing with a high risk client. Or really, that's all I ever promise anyway, is let them get over here and see what we can do for you. Can't promise we can get you funded, but our team they're experts and we work with all the top lenders and we'll definitely get you the best offer if there's one available out there for you. So.
Please, and I have one last question. My last question is about recruiting. I don't know if it was here or somewhere else where they said that I can recruit by using the online system. It's like I cannot post my information online, for example, on my Instagram or my Facebook to recruit, or it's okay for me to recruit online?
Oh, yeah, you can recruit online. Just make sure, again, make sure your agent ID number is at the end of that link. And in fact, when you take your davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID number, when you post that link on social media, if you'll post it and let it sit there a minute, it'll automatically populate an image about whatever it is you're posting. So if it's the recruiting link, it's going to be the start a business image. And actually you can remove the link once it's populated, because now you've got a clickable image that goes straight over to your website. So you don't have to leave that link in the message if you don't want to, but it's okay either way. But yeah, absolutely. Recruit away online. It's fine. Mhm.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you for the questions.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else before we wrap up, guys? I appreciate all the comments, and I appreciate y'all showing appreciation. Again, it's not for me to have you guys say thank you, more of a putting it out there so that you're aware. And I appreciate all of you that gave your thanks to confirm to everybody else the system that we have in place and the value of that as you're building your DAC business. So we're just here to help you win. Who's hungry? Harlequin, you got anything that I missed on messaging other than Wednesday at 11:30? We got more training with Wade coming up. And then on Friday, our DAC agent update at 11:30 as well.
Yeah, we don't have anything in the chat. Danga just raised their hand.
Okay.
So, but let me just go ahead and say this. Just a reminder that next Monday is the last day to get, for you or anybody on your front line to get, or anybody actually, to get a funding that is actually funded to get that override for the enroller bonus.
Yeah, for this cross promotion where you're auto engaged. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And a disclaimer on that, if you're automatically engaged according to the compensation plan, it doesn't matter that next Monday is the end of the month. That's only for those that aren't currently eligible for overrides on the team because they haven't gotten a personal client. Monday would be the deadline on that. Yeah. Good point, Harlequin. Thank you.
And David pointed out that part of the reason why he's doing it is he's wanting us to do some more recruiting. So go out the rest of this week and recruit.
Yeah, and thank you for that too, because he offered this to see a spike in recruiting numbers. And honestly, I think that he's really let down on that because he's giving away money that people haven't earned, trying to spur that the recruiting numbers. So he's like, it's costing the company a lot of money to give away money to people that aren't doing anything and they're getting paid an override anyway. So it probably won't be coming back around if we don't put some numbers on the board. So go get on the Team Win leaderboard next week, every one of you, with at least 2 new agent recruits or more, and we'll have all your names in bright shining lights if you got at least 2 new agents next week. So let's go to Danga. Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys? So I'm new and this is my first meeting. And one of the question I saw when you guys were talking in my head, the question was, when you guys said they will check the Kara score, right? I saw on the sheet, I think it says 350 Kara score.
For funding, it's 500.
Oh, I'm sorry, 500.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a minimum. Some of our lenders have a higher requirement, 600 or 650, depending on what program they're applying for. There is no credit check for Giggle for those businesses that are doing less than 15,000. There is no credit check on those.
Okay. And my question is, when they apply for it, if they fail, will affect their Kara score?
Oh, good question. It will not, because for those fundings where we do pull credit, we only do a soft pull of their FICO score. So a soft pull is not going to show up or impact their credit report. However, I will say this on that credit pull, in our lending industry, these lenders can see if somebody has had their credit pulled, even though it doesn't impact a credit score. They have access to see that another lender pulled the credit score. So that will show up. So if they apply with us and then they go to someone else, that other lender will be able to see that they just applied at David Allen Capital. It also might cause phone calls to start coming in. What happens is the credit bureaus such as Experian sell those leads of applicants. They sell their information for people who have made an application with us, even though it wasn't a hard pull. That soft FICO pull, the credit bureaus will sell those leads as trigger leads to other lenders. So there are some lenders out there who specifically buy from the credit bureaus if someone has applied at David Allen Capital. So that's the other side of how the credit pull works. We're not doing it. It's not coming from us, but unfortunately, we can't control what the credit bureaus are doing. Do you have another question there? Those are great questions.
So that will affect them future wise?
It won't hit the credit, okay, but it may mean that another lender may try to call them and try to get them to sign up for funding through them. So that's just kind of, I don't tell clients that unless I feel it's warranted, because I don't want them to, one, I don't tell them that before they apply with us because I don't want to scare them away, right? But after they have applied with us, I try to connect with my client if they're not moving on through the process quickly and saying, hey, you might start getting some phone calls in the next day or two, and just know it's not us unless it's the person that's in your email or Wade, then it's not our team that's calling you. So.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you for the questions and welcome. Glad to have you on our Zoom tonight. So
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
bet. Anybody else before we wrap up? I see some messages in the chat now. How long does it take for an agent to get paid when the client receives their ERC refund? So when the client receives their ERC refund, there is an invoice that has been sent to them. The majority of time, the invoice should arrive before the client receives their refund check from the IRS. Sometimes they're overlapping or sometimes the invoice is delayed, but they receive an invoice from our ERC team and the client is then responsible for paying that invoice out of their proceeds from the IRS. Once they have paid the ERC team, there's about a 10-day window. They're making sure the check's clear and there's no clawbacks or bounces there. Once they have confirmed the funds are theirs and there's no clawback from a bounced check, they pay DAC, and then we get paid as agents. We get paid the day after DAC receives the money from the ERC team. So, it may be a couple of week lag. I've got a client right now that received the refund. It's been a month, and I need to follow back up with him because he had not received all the money when he first reached out, and he asked me, I was talking him through how that worked. And he said, do I have to pay this invoice or do I wait until all the money comes in? I said, that's up to you, but the intent is that you pay the invoice when the checks come in. So that's how it works on the timeline there. Okay, thanks, Emmanuel. Good question. All right, guys, let's wrap up. I appreciate your attention tonight. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for plugging in. Again, help us get the word out to the team and encourage them to watch what is going on. Encourage them to plug into what I'm sending out. And because we're going to be doing more and more stuff just for our team above and beyond what DAC is doing. James, you got another question? I'll ask you to unmute.
Yeah, real quick, on that point that you just made about the person was getting segmented checks. I just got that information brand new today when I went through the FAQs for ERC that is posted, where it showed there that because the assumption I had was that, they get, like one check for the whole amount. But according to the FAQ information that was just posted today, it stated in there that, maybe they're getting quarterly checks or something before they, before it adds up to the total amount. That was brand new for me, and you just touched on it. So, okay.
Yeah, so let me go over, is that is in the, where did that document get posted, James? They said it was going to go up today.
Yeah, it's in the ERC page.
ERC reference sheet. Oh, I see it. Okay, let me point this out to everybody while we got it. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll show you exactly where it is so everybody can see. So I'm in the Agent Resource Center. I have clicked on the Employee Retention Credit link here.
No. Yeah, on our site, on the ERC site.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a FAQ. Is this not the same document?
It probably is, but I'm just saying it's on the it's on our site.
Okay.
There's a link there that goes right to it.
Awesome. Well, let's go over there and look.
Because Tyler's came on the Zoom this morning and said, yeah, I'm gonna put it up today, and he did.
Yep. Awesome. That Tyler is awesome.
Oh yeah, right on point. He's on
See
that
what-
lemonade.
I went, oh, here we go. Yeah. All right. Down at the bottom. FAQs. Sweet. Okay. I'll have to read through those, but since we're talking about some of the unique things on that, yes, I think we were all under the impression that it was going to be one big check initially when we rolled out ERCs. I know I was, but it is quarterly. So here's the deal. If you have a client that gets an ERC, and I'll take this off of screen share. If you have a client that gets an ERC refund, the way that their checks are not going to be the exact amount that they show on their refund sheet. Okay, here's how it works. When the ERC team sends them their documents to sign off and giving authorization to have everything sent to the IRS, that has a cover page, and the cover page breaks it down what year and which quarter and the amount of the refund on a quarterly basis to the client. And then it has one column that totals all the quarters combined, right? So their total refund amount. When the client starts getting those checks back, they're going to receive the refund amount plus interest. So in the bottom left hand of the check, the client needs to go down there and look at the interest amount and subtract it from the total check amount. And that is how they're going to match up on a quarter by quarter basis that they've gotten paid what they're due for each quarter. Okay. So yeah, it'll be, if they've got 5 quarters they qualified for, then they're going to get 5 separate checks with interest. So deduct the interest off of the left-hand corner for the total amount, and that should match the corresponding quarter. Good stuff. Thank you, James. All right, everybody, have an awesome evening. We'll see you on Wade's Zoom on Wednesday. And then on Friday, it's a big time in DAC, time to be building, be hungry, and be here to win. All right. You're on the winning team, Team Win. We got it. All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take care. Good night, everyone.